Hey, Carson.
Hi.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Dweeb Wars.
Welcome to Dweeb Wars. If you don't know, we're on The Amazing Race Season 37. What? And
I didn't know that.
we are recapping Episode 6 halfway through the season.
Congrats.
Congrats, my
We did
king.
it halfway. Wow.
Okay. How do you feel emotionally being halfway through the season?
Compared to real life, it's just completely different.
Yes.
Like, for this episode particularly, the craziest thing to me was like, oh my God, everything was so condensed.
Yeah.
Like
You were up in the sky. It was like, get in here.
I was up in the sky, and that felt like years of my life.
Oh my God. I
And
remember
it was
just waiting
5
for you.
seconds on the show.
I remember waiting for you. It was
so
like
crazy.
an hour and a half. Like it was a long time.
Even
Yeah.
in the air, like it felt like forever.
Well, let's start at the top.
Yeah.
Let's start at the tippy. This episode begins. We learn that we're flying to Dubai. Now, first thing that goes through my head, and we can talk about this later, and not to crush the vibes too quick, but gay.
I know.
Gayest
Not
season
one mention.
ever. Not one mention. And that's okay. I think they had a lot to put in here. Like, I don't think it like
I really think it's because it was like a Dubai travel
sponsorship. Yeah, maybe.
It was a large part of what we talked about actually
Yeah, we talked about
throughout
it a
and
lot.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Was like, oh my God, how cool that like we got to run this leg and spoiler alert, win this leg as gay men who would not have come to this country without sort of like the safety of a crew.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
also clocked that, like missing that sort of real moment because I think the Dubai travel agency
Yeah.
was
And
watching.
also we didn't get to like sort of be with Brett and Mark through this leg
Yeah.
either, and I think that would have been interesting to be able to like talk to them. We haven't talked to them like
True.
about that really, and but that was a really it was on our minds for sure. We were making jokes. We were calling our boyfriends Michelle and Alexis.
Yeah, we had given our boyfriends code names that sounded like women.
Yeah.
And we called them our wives.
Our wives, that's
Yeah.
right. That's our wives. Not that anyone was asking. Like, no one was
but we
talking
were
to
just-
us,
we
but
were, it was us having a good
a
old
laugh. Yeah. We're all sitting around in the airport. We order, like,
We have beers.
we have beers.
We're like,
Yeah.
let's
We're
break
drinking.
the ice post
Let's
U-turn.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
all
break
grab a
the natty
beer.
ice. Yeah.
Here, I saw someone say, like, I thought they weren't allowed to drink. You are allowed to drink. You just have to pay with your own leg money, which I know some people might be like, that's so stupid. But firstly, in Indonesia, everything was pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, I feel like when you're that far into the race, you start to realize, like, your leg money carries over. And so you sort of have, like, a little extra every leg.
Yeah, and you ask
we
other
were
people
like-
how much they have, and then also if everybody's doing it, like we actually didn't order huge meals where other people ordered huge meals, and it's like they're actually spending more money than us. But if everyone's spending a lot of money, the race will balance itself. They will know that they're not going to have everyone not have enough money to do something, so they'll balance it.
Yeah.
So we felt safe to do so, and also again like with the social game, it's like. I think I'd rather run the race with somebody who's willing to crack a beer with me, you know, than somebody who's like, sorry, I'm not spending a penny because I need to win this thing.
Right.
It's like, oh, yeah. And obviously awkward moment with us and Jonathan and Anna. We could have had like a blowout, but it wasn't that. It was like very like, wait, we need time. We understood that. It sucked seeing that they so easily forgave everybody else, but it was all right.
Yeah, I mean, and it's part of the game. That's
Yeah.
one thing we sort of came away from it being like, was, you know what? Like, this is not RuPaul's best friend race.
Yeah.
And, like, that's okay. We're sorry that we did that. We had to do what we had to do. Gave, you know, Anna a chance to say her piece. Why didn't you vote someone else? We just didn't want to.
Yeah, well,
And that was that.
well, yeah.
We, of course, make it to Dubai. We had a very iconic cab
Oh,
driver named Joy, I think.
Joy, yes.
And that she was.
She was everything. Oh my God, she was like, I wish you could see more footage of her. She was like, this is my time on TV.
Yeah.
She was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's the show?
Yeah.
How do I watch it?
We arrived at the desert. We arrived at the gate, and then we had to run through the desert. And we got to all these teacups, and there were all the teacups that were facing us said 515 or 520. And then there was one teacup that had been turned around.
Yeah.
and
like
it was on the opposite.
tricky
It was
thing.
like a tricky thing, and I still don't know whether it was like another team turning it
Yeah.
around, or whether it was production, or
Yeah.
it was just always set that way. Like we had to look around the table and find it.
We start to dance. Then, of course, you see us. I don't even think you noticed this. Us doing the JoJo Siwa
Karma
as a
dance
bitch
in the background of
background.
this episode on national
Yeah,
television.
maybe roll the clip.
What's up, peeps?
Some lore here. Carson and I had learned the Karma dance because we were trying in our auditions to be like, we're learning dances to like, learn dance challenges. Like you were trying to teach me
Yeah.
dance skills, and also just to show like the producers that were wacky.
Yeah, we just did it in
Yeah.
our hotel room at callbacks. We had
we were
nothing to
bored.
do. We have, we're bored. So we learned the JoJo Siwa Karma dance, and it was a blast.
And it made it on the show.
And it made it on all the way on the show. And now JoJo, CBS family.
Right.
Well, Big Brother
Big Brother
family,
family, yeah.
Celebrity UK.
I wish I could show it to her.
Maybe she's seen.
She's on Big Brother.
Oh, true. Yeah. We bang down the doors of
Yeah,
Celebrity
we're like,
UK.
"Watch this."
JoJo!
We send in an an airdrop
a
with
stork.
with
A stork with an
a
iPhone
USB
13.
drive.
Yeah. It was one of the most magical nights of my entire life, right?
super cool.
It was so amazing to sleep in the deserts of Dubai. The Bedouin camp like catered all of this like traditional food for us. I ate camel.
Camel. We ate camel.
I ate camel.
I know.
Now I'm a staunch vegetarian. We sat at communal tables. Like it was a really good time
we all
to chat.
Connected.
with
Yeah, you
people,
didn't really
yeah.
get any of that, which
No.
was like we were talking with Brett and Mark. We were talking
A
all
lot
about
with
gay
Brett-
stuff.
Yeah,
as
gay
well,
stuff.
Actually,
Yeah,
there.
true. Well, and it's interesting because I think you do get a sense of it though when everyone's going to sleep together all in one room. Like when it was about the dad jokes with
Yeah.
Josiah, and somebody else said something that made us all laugh. Like I like feel like you got a sense like we're a team today. Like we're all a
Right.
family here because we can't beat each other. It's like,
Yeah.
and the race will begin again tomorrow.
And then it does. We wake up. Oh, we drive the Jeeps.
Yes, we actually, something that they cut out, which I completely understand. They had so much to put in this episode, but we actually took these sort of Jeeps, these open air, like, topless Jeeps through the desert, or somebody drives us through the desert. And that was, again, one of the most magical moments ever. Something that they cut out was it actually like made me really emotional about my mom. My mom had passed like 2 years before, and I remember just like looking out on the desert, and it was just a time for us to reflect. We saw these hot air balloons go into the sky, and since her death, I've been like really afraid of heights because I'm like, death could come to me at any time. And I just remember getting really emotional, and I sort of break down in this Jeep about her and really how much she'd be proud and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Which I completely understand. They would have had to include
All the
the Jeep,
Yeah.
explain why we're in a Jeep. It would just have been a huge,
Yeah.
huge thing to do. And then also it didn't end up, because we didn't end up going in a hot air balloon together, or I didn't end up going
Right.
into the sky. Like
You didn't have to conquer a fear.
I didn't have to
Yeah.
conquer that, but I do remember it was a moment that
Yeah.
it was maybe the moment I remember most vividly on the race is like
Definitely.
driving through that desert. Like, thinking about
Absolutely.
my
I think it
mom.
was the most emotional, humanizing, like deep moment for
Yeah.
us. Sort of watching you in real time cope with the death of your mom, but also getting ready to overcome a fear that you like don't even really know is coming, but
Yeah.
sort of just the feeling of like,
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to be really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But also I can be proud of myself for like overcoming that fear. And then of course it didn't pan out because as soon as we rip open who's dropping into Dubai,
If it's only one of us, girl,
Yeah.
you got to take it.
It's gonna
like,
be me, yeah.
I remember saying like, my mom would be really proud of me to jump out of a plane. She's not asking me to jump out of a plane to be proud of me,
No,
and so
you don't. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have anything to prove.
exactly, yeah.
To
So,
anyone.
I knew you had to do it.
But
But
that was-
before that, camels.
Oh my God, camels!
We go through the mist. I mean, it was so Star Wars. It was
was
like,
amazing.
The mist.
Oh
It
my
was
God, the
like-
camel, and they didn't get. Do you remember the camels? Josiah was naming his camel Fergie.
Fergie!
He kept talking about Fergie.
Yes,
and
Fergie
it is
loved
so funny.
us. Remember, Fergie kept turning around
yeah.
and being like,
Fergie kept like
hey, you
looking at
guys.
us.
But once we get off, we get to the clue box, and it's kind of a mad dash. Like, where is this thing?
Yeah, because it's so foggy.
It's so foggy. We have no idea what direction we're trying to go in. We eventually peek over a mound, and we see this thing, and we just start booking it. But we didn't really have any idea how consequential that run would be.
Right. So yeah, we rip the roadblock. Who's dropping into Dubai? I'm gonna do it. And then actually we were not in front is the thing. Josiah and Alyssa were in front because if y'all know anything about them,
They can run.
they can run like nobody. It's
How did we
unreal.
get ahead? I forget.
I remember him saying it out loud. He was like, well, we're all getting on the same flight, so it doesn't matter. So he slowed down. They both slowed down. And then I just like can't help my race brain, and I think it's correct, even though it does maybe put a target on our back
Right.
sometimes. But I'm like, I don't want to ever slow down
Yeah.
if I can help it. You know, like if I'm
Yeah.
not like desperately tired, I want to get there because you never, ever, ever know.
Yeah.
Like in this case,
Now we do
kind of
know.
being
Yeah,
first
that-
on the ground. It was kind of really between us and Han and Holden,
Han and
for the
Holden,
fast
yeah.
forward. So you kind of had to be in the first two slots to even like
Yeah.
try to get it or be able to get the fast forward.
Hours and hours and hours and hours. Prepping, waiting. We needed to wait for the fog to clear, firstly. We were all
Yeah.
waiting inside. This is when we saw pictures of Pops and Jeff's family. So, so beautiful. I remember being like, your wives are so beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Like,
And now we've met their wives.
now we've met them.
And they're
Best
everything.
People, their family is like the
beautiful
best.
inside and out.
Literally the best people on
She just
planet
Instagram
Earth.
DM'd me the other day.
Really? Everyone
Yeah.
was like so vibing this
Yes,
leg.
this
like,
leg was super special because
Yeah.
I think also when it's something like skydiving where like you kind of know you're not going to get ahead of anyone. You know, like same with the Bedouin camp and the camels, like everything up to this point was not really about like getting ahead. It was about experiencing before we even have to worry about racing again.
Yes.
And for us, it was actually that
whole
the
time.
entire way because of the
Yes.
fast forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super fun. And inside, like, oh my God, like Melinda, you got
Melinda.
Melinda.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to go up in the
Yeah.
air. I love thrill seeking. I actually did the biggest bungee jump in the world. I'm
I
like,
know. Melinda she's been waiting all season for like
Thrill.
She kept talking about like, where are the thrill roadblocks? And she was like, you know, she wanted Erica to do the more physical ones and she
Yeah.
wanted to do like all the crazy stuff. And finally she got one.
I love that
Heading-
picture
I know,
of her.
in the air. It was just a hoot. And also really comforting because I was like really nervous.
yeah.
And just to hear her be like
so excited.
so
Yes,
excited.
you
is
can
like,
access that.
Okay, obviously you can't skydive alone. You have to do tandem unless you're like certified. You're like technically connected to them, but like not really. Like you aren't tightened in until you like are ready to jump. You don't feel secure.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
And then we're like 900 feet above. And we're going to, I think, like 11,000 feet total. So we're only 900 feet. We're not far up. But like in this plane, it felt really high up.
Yeah.
Because all you could see was desert. He looks at me. He's like, you want to know something? And I was like, what? He was like, if we jumped out right now, we'd both be dead. Because we weren't high enough. And I was like, okay. Like, what? Like, why would you tell me that?
If we both jump out now.
Yeah, if we jumped out now, we'd both be toast. We just like went so high, like we were so much higher than like even the tallest building.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Dubai is so crazy because it's so like manicured.
Yeah.
It's like you saw the palm.
palm.
And you see the Burj Khalifa and you see like all these things. It is so unbelievable.
Wiz Khalifa.
You
We haven't talked
see
about that.
The Wiz Khalifa.
Amazing moment.
That was an amazing,
Amazing moment.
It seemed like some people were also did not like that moment.
No, they
And
were,
I'm
they
just
were
like,
upset.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
it's,
no,
like,
it's so good.
hilarious.
It's so good.
They opened the door. I don't know. I guess I'm stupid. I didn't even know that you could like open a door on a plane. Like I kind of just figured like I would just be sucked out of the plane. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
right.
So that was really strange also when they
So
opened the
crazy.
plane and there's nothing stopping you from just
Oh my God, dying.
falling
Yeah,
out.
oh my
Like
God.
I was still attached to my instructor, but like again, still like
Oh
not
my
even
God.
tied.
Yes.
Like they hadn't pulled these harnesses to be like tight. Like it was crazy. Even just describing it right now, it's like I honestly don't know if I'll ever feel that
Like that
feeling
again, yeah.
again of like, I know that I'm about to jump out of a plane and free fall for 10,000 feet, and there's nothing I can do about it, you know? You have to just like resign yourself to it.
God, that's so crazy.
And yet it was so exciting. Anyway, then it's my turn first. I literally profess my love
To everyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
on
I'm
the
glad
plane
they included that.
as though it's like my potential death rattle.
Yeah.
And we jump, and it was so cool. The first 3 seconds, you're like falling and you sort of can't place yourself in space, and then eventually when you sort of like level out and you're like this, of course, like your mouth is like, and this air is coming in, and like it's like dry mouth like I've never experienced. Like I think I was screaming, and then like I ended up stopping screaming because it ended up being like
Right. Yeah.
they pull the string, and that is the second scariest moment, honestly.
Right, because you go,
yeah, like
right,
your biggest stomach
I was
drop
thinking
of
about
all
that.
time.
Yeah. I would be grabbing onto him so tight.
Oh, well, then we corkscrew down, which means he like pulls one of the sides
Right.
of the parachute, and then we just go like this, really fast.
Really fast, yeah.
And so that was so much fun, and
I remember seeing it. I was like, they're dancing up there. Like,
I just couldn't stop screaming, and I couldn't stop being like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, this is the best day of my life. This is the best thing ever.
but that's what they say, is that you'll be chasing the beast.
Yeah.
That you'll never feel that way again.
Yeah, probably not. I think I've peaked.
Widow's Peak, perhaps.
Yeah, girl, my receding hairline caught in 4K.
I don't think it's bad, Jack. I don't think it's bad. You keep bringing it up. I literally didn't notice anything. But when
Girl.
you said the word peak, I had to say it.
Oh my god. Josiah's tears
Josiah's tears.
in the skydiving.
So beautiful.
He is an angel.
He's a complete
He's
angel.
like, he loves her so much.
And is so kind, so funny, so
Yes.
smart, like everything.
And you know what
Blah,
was
blah,
so
blah, blah, blah.
cute was like, he was crying about her. He was so sweet to her. And she was living her best life in the air, but still thinking of him. She was saying, she was like,
I can't wait to see
Josiah,
him,
I can't
yeah.
wait to see you, but this is amazing.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
so cute that they had this like telepathic understanding that they were like thinking of each other, but it was so cute.
Yes.
They're like,
They
so
love
cute.
each other so much. They're the best. They're the best people on planet. I mean, I've said this about so many people in this cast, but it's like something about their love too is so amazing because it's like they love each other so much, and yet they're such a good hang when they're together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like their love doesn't get in the way of like being friends. Like when we're together, I'm like, we're also just friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not like I don't
Feel
know.
like you're third wheeling
Yeah,
or
third
anything.
wheeling.
No,
like
not
they're
at all.
such a good hang, and they're so awesome.
Yeah.
So we land, and then we rip open the clue. I had already seen the orange car. Ultimately, what happened, because we got in there pretty quick, I think Hannah and Holden thought there might be a second orange car, and so they were running through the parking lot trying to find if there was a second orange car to try to do it as well.
They thought we already had it.
Yeah, because the orange car was like right next to us, kind of. And so I remember being like, bong,
I know what to do. And that is a somewhat contentious thing is, you know, whether or not a fast forward should allow multiple people to try.
Yeah.
I think yes.
Yeah.
I think
we
the best fast
completely
forward
lucked
like
out.
in history,
Yeah.
right? Or the
The
one that like, stands
surfboard.
out the most. Surfboard, Kim and Allie versus the
Yeah.
Soul Surfers.
Yes.
And Kim and Allie show up first. And of course, the Soul Surfers beat them in the surfing comp because they're surfers.
Surfers, yeah.
It was so dramatic. And like then Kim and Allie having to go and do all the other challenges. It's so dramatic. Obviously, as us, I was like,
Yeah, right,
but
right.
in terms of like viewing it, I understand like, you know, you want the fast forward to be a high risk, high reward
Yeah.
situation.
Or
But-
if one of us was scared. Like some people were like, "Oh my god, you weren't scared going down?" I was like, "No." Like so apparently some people are as scared of scubaing as they are of skydiving. That
my
it's
God.
like, "Oh my god, it's so dangerous. Like what if you can't breathe?" You know, it's like some people are scared of that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like if one of us had freaked out or like it did take a long time. We had to like get there. It was very far away. Then we had to change into our stuff. Then we had to get an orientation, like learn all. We basically had to take like a
Yeah,
course.
you had to do like a verbal orientation.
Then
you had
get
to
in the water.
Yeah, then you had to learn the equipment outside of the water, kind of. You had to learn all these hand
Signals, yeah.
about
And
how to
then-
communicate with the diver if something goes wrong.
Yes. Then get in the water, do a in the water course.
When you go up and down, you have to depressurize or repressurize. You had to learn how to clear your goggles full of water. I think the scariest thing was actually like we had just done a roadblock. And so we thought like, is there just a detour left?
Yeah,
And
right.
is this actually slower than like a detour? We didn't realize that there was another like route info active task.
Yeah. People are liking that because it's breaking the form.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that it's like different. Yeah.
And because the roadblock, the skydiving roadblock was not a way for anyone to like get ahead or behind. When we were on the way there, we were like, is this going to be a team fun, like do the fast forward and get like fourth?
Yeah, right.
You know, or worse.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Phil Scuba-ing.
Phil
Scuba-ing.
in this fast forward. It was like crazy. We go up, then our car takes us straight to the Museum of the Future. So cool, so beautiful. I remember this greeter being so lovely. We land on the mat, first place, Alaskan cruise.
Yeah! Alaskan cruise. Now, Carson is a big proponent of cruises.
I love a cruise. I love a cruise, both ironically and not ironically. I think it's iconic to be in such a camp environment, and it is travel and is like cheap, which I love. And I've never been to Alaska, so I'm very excited. You know, I didn't tell you this, somebody from the Alaskan tourist board messaged me today.
What?
Somebody from the Alaskan tourist board messaged me today.
Saying what?
I hear you're coming to Alaska. If you're on the mainland, let me know.
Are you serious?
No, I'm really serious.
So we're gonna get even more perks?
That's right. The feelings are complicated because we're such fans of the game. And I was like, I kind of think nothing really was skill-based here today.
Yeah, Han and Holden deserved.
Han and Holden deserved, but that's part of the game. I'll be going to the Alaskan wilderness.
Han and Holden really beasted this one, though. Oh, my God.
Amazing.
Perfect challenge for Han.
Amazing.
She did it so quickly. I remember, I think even twice, like, in the e-foil competition, she was like, I want to start. And then the guy, like,
wouldn't
seemed
let her.
Like not to let her. He didn't say that, but like she just had to keep practicing. And she was like, "I'm ready."
She's like, "I can
Come
surf."
on.
Yeah.
Also, oh my God, Han being in love with the French chef.
Chef Christophe. Something to say.
I mean, why wouldn't you be? Like,
you think he didn't do it for me?
Really?
No, but I shouldn't say this.
What?
I find blue eyes sinister.
You know what? Go ahead and speak your truth. Wow.
I don't know why. They just, when someone looks at me with eyes that are too blue, I'm a little bit like, ooh.
Really?
Dude, his eyes are hella blue.
But maybe I need to look deep within. Maybe it's because my sister had blue eyes, and when I was growing up, I was jealous.
Yes, maybe.
And then so I decided, like, no, I'm going to go the opposite route. And I like brown eyes, and in fact, your blue eyes piss me the fuck off.
Yeah, right. Yeah, dig deep.
Yeah. Erica kind of beasted that too.
Beast, yes.
I think Erica did on the first try.
Yes.
E-foil.
Yeah.
Amazing. As per the
and
foot
we got
race.
the foot race.
Oh God. Pops and Jeff not getting on the train.
The hand in the door.
And knowing also that it's like because they couldn't run in the train station. Like if they had been able to run,
maybe
they probably
would
would have made it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Now, would you have gotten on the train even if you didn't know where it was going, do you think?
That's a hard question. I don't know. It all depends.
I don't know either.
Depends on what my surroundings have told me about the context clues. Like, if this is the first train I see, I don't think I would have gotten on the train.
Yeah.
Like the sort of audience irony of knowing that it's the right train. Of course, you're like, get on the train, right? But I don't blame them not for a second from like pausing. A lot of times that's good in the race to pause, take a moment, right? And just be like, really, what's going? Because going in the wrong direction is way worse than waiting for 4 seconds to figure out you're going the right direction.
Yeah.
That being said, in this case, it didn't help them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some of the best people on planet Earth. We've said that. We've met their family.
Yeah, Pops
they're
and Jeff
the
are
best people
so
ever.
Sweet. My mom called me.
And
the
she
next
was like,
day, and
my
she was
favorite
like,
team.
My favorite team is gone. I was like, Mom.
Hey.
What the fuck?
Somebody said that the race kind of is in 3 chunks of 4 episodes. And at the beginning, you're still getting to know everybody for the first 4 episodes. In the middle is where it starts to get really real, where it's like, I know these people.
I don't want them to go home.
And I don't want them to go home.
Yeah.
And then the last 4 episodes are like the mad dash to the finish, which is obviously high stakes. And so I really feel that the audience is in this middle chunk right now, being like, oh my God, it's getting real. I know these people, you know?
Yes, it's starting to be like, in a good way, like a hard watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's also good because now I think it's aligning with how we know these people to be.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, at those first 4 episodes, we are having to tell people, like, oh my God, Jackie and Lauren are the best. Like, they are such incredible people.
Right.
Like, obviously, like, you do see that in the show, but you just don't get to know them too long. Now I'm like, y'all know who Pops and Jeff are.
Maybe you can understand, too, that it's so jarring when these people leave because you don't get to say goodbye.
No.
And you don't have your phone. These are the only people that you are contacting, that you're chatting with, that you have to ground you in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're gone. And it's super strange.
I think we started the next leg not knowing who went home. Next week, Bulgaria. We've been teased about a little self-drive. We've been teased about...
Double U-turn.
Double U-turn.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out our other nerd stuff we post on this channel, Dweeb Wars,
Yes.
where we debate nerdy things.
Wahoo!
Wahoo!
See y'all next week. Bye. Mwah.